What if I told you to have a perfect spring garden, the steps you got to take weren't going to be in the spring. They're going to be happening right now. And for me, one of those secret weapons for the spring is this plant right here. I'm going to go over all the steps I use to close out my garden for have a successful garden in the perfect spring. Come follow along. Hey everybody, Doug the CrocGardener. The first frost has come. We're now starting to close out the garden. What are the steps that I take to help myself become a successful gardener next spring? You know, it's tempting just to walk away and let all the stuff behind me just go and take care of it next spring or sometime in the middle of the winter when it's freezing cold out. But now is the time that you guys need to act on getting stuff done for the next spring. And I'll tell you, we're going to go through about 5 or 6 different ways that I help myself out for the following spring. First and foremost, we want to start taking the bad stuff out of the garden. This stuff includes any plants that were diseased, any plants that have any type of look like they have any type of problem on them. You want to take those and you want them out of the garden, whether it's bringing them to some type of dump, bring them off property somewhere. That's what I do. I usually bring them off property to a facility that is many miles away, or even if you just have to burn them. That's another thing that you can do with all this refuse stuff. And the stuff I'm talking about are going to be stuff that's going to be disease, like forms of blight or some type of mold or mildew or something like that. You can see that especially usually on tomato plants this time of year. Also with those diseased plants, you want to make sure you get weeds that have seeds in them. I let this guy go in my garden all winter long, all through spring. I'm gonna have hundreds of weeds like this I'm gonna have to pick out next year. Start weeding your garden this year by getting the weed seeds out right now. Now you're probably bound to have a bunch of plants that are good and still growing strong. A lot of those plants, you can take those and simply just chop them up, drop them on top of your garden beds. That does several things. One, it takes those nutrients that your plants had in the soil and it lifts up all that nutrients that it took out of the soil and it puts it back into the soil. Two, it provides your soil with a cover, a mulch layer, if you will, over your bed. You know, bare soil is not happy soil. Covered soil is happy soil, especially through the winter months. It'll keep those microbes, those worms, and everything else happy. Three, when you put that stuff down, it does break down. Like I said earlier, it'll break down and it'll give all those worms some food and different things to eat. Step number 3, start putting your stuff away. I go out and I get all my irrigation stuff, my sprinkler equipment, everything else that I have in the garden. Those are just temporary systems that I put in. So those are all going back into the garage. Any tools I'm picking up, anything that's going to cause any type of little bit of problem being out here all winter, I'm going to pick up. And while you're at it with your tools, it won't hurt to sharpen them up a little bit. Maybe add some oil to some of those wooden handles to make them nice. Step number 4, make sure you mulch those beds. Like I said, I grow Comfrey exclusively just for the mulch. This is the highlight of my closing out of the garden, is I will take that Comfrey and I will just layer it on thick. I got so many Comfrey plants around here that I could just layer each bed so thick with Comfrey. And over time, that Comfrey just breaks down and it goes back and delivers all those nutrients that were outside the beds. It puts some more back into the soil. That's called building your soil, folks. If you can build your soil up from year to year to year, you won't have to amend your beds as often as what most people do. Likewise, though, if you do not have any Comfrey, it doesn't hurt to give your beds some amendments. Go ahead and spray some organic fertilizer down. Go ahead and put some extra leaves down or grass clippings. As long as you're not using any chemicals in your lawn, the grass clippings are perfectly fine to spread out this time of year. If you can source some leaves from trees, those are awesome and great, make a great mulch for your garden beds. Now is also the time to put down any compost that you have. If you have any compost, layer that down. Feed those worms, feed those microbes, build your soil. Step number 5, don't forget to take notes. Right now is the time of year that you want to be taking notes in your garden. Write down in a book what worked, what didn't work, what you're going to do differently. Because here in about 3-4 months, you're not going to remember what you're going to do differently and what your plans are. So right now is a great time to sit down, assess your garden, and get things lined up. Matter of fact, create a YouTube video. Make a video log of what you're going to do differently. That way you got a reference you can go back to. I highly suggest it. That's what I do right here, right now. As a matter of fact, the next video that I'm going to come out with is going to be my plans for next year. If you want to see that video, Go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that bell. You'll get a notification when that video is ready and posted. The next step is taking any bulbs that you have. For example, I got these canna plants that are around here. You want to take those bulbs, you want to dig them up, you want to get them in a dry, dark location that's not going to be overly warm or overly cool. You want to store those bulbs properly. That way you can take them out and plant them again next year. Enjoy their beauty next year. Enjoy the hummingbirds that come to those things next year. So guys, that's a wrap. Not only do things look a lot cleaner, but I will have a better, healthier garden in the spring. If I forgot anything you guys do on your list, list them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys do to close out your gardens. Is there any extra steps you guys take? And as always, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. Cheers, everybody, and God bless.